Class back. Let's get to it. Discipline is overrated. Let me say that again. Discipline is overrated. So I want to talk about this from the approach I keep on seeing everywhere. I got to crouch down a little bit for the camera stand. You know how it goes. It is what it is. I got to accept this. This is where I'm at. So now that I'm crouching down, now that I'm talking to you directly, let's talk about discipline. Let's talk about how it's overrated. So first and foremost, everyone says don't rely on motivation, rely on discipline. Motivation is like exciting and everything is going and you got the blood flowing. It gets you to the gym, but discipline keeps making you show up. Now here is my one and only problem with that. That is built on forcing something. Ooh, it's hot in here. So discipline is based on forcing. Now, what is a step better than discipline? Ultimately, like I've talked about numerous times in my classrooms, online, everywhere I go, the book Psycho-Cybernetics talks a lot about self-concept, how you see yourself. So what's better than discipline? Identity. Identity wins. Here's the biggest thing. When it comes down to discipline, you are forcing something. You are trying to do something. That is built on resistance. Identity is, if I see myself a certain way, it's automatic that my behaviors align that way. When I saw myself as the class clown, no matter how much discipline I had in trying to force myself to study or sound smart or approach things a certain way, ultimately my default setting was jokes until I started changing my identity. Definitely when I became a professor and I was like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm gonna take this craft serious, and everything I did felt aligned with that craft. Everything from reading different books, from talking to different people, from networking, everything was focused on that. So I'm not forcing it. My behaviors just start to automatically align. So people do discipline. They say, hey man, I'm gonna go to the gym and lift every single weight. I'm gonna become the biggest, strongest XYZ, right? Now the problem is they're forcing that, and in the days when they skip a workout, they go crazy, right? That is not what we want. That's not healthy. You want to say, I'm going to become my healthiest version of myself. Then your identity starts, your behaviors align with that identity. You start, it's not that you completely get rid of eating sweets and drinking sodas. You limit it. You portion things a little bit differently. You're not going all the way, balls to the wall. You're basically taking calculated steps, but your behaviors automatically align with that. You're still going out to eat. You're just eating differently. So the biggest thing I will get out of this, and why I want to talk about it so much, because I see this like, man, just be disciplined and that's better than motivation, and you need to just jump up and do 50,000 jumping jacks and make $1 million a day, and these aren't real things. However, if you do want change, if you want growth, you got to start changing your identity, and that's where all your behaviors will fall in line. So I hope that this helps, per usual.